Entering settings screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands, jump in the man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets, the coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit to hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them, I'm a Hall of Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Mike 57. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Check 40.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. On second down, it's Elliott. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
You can't get past me.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Watch your slack. Watch your slack. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Check. Fresno. Check. Here we go, 46. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Andrew Sendejo swoops in for the sack.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognized that he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Pass. Check nickel.
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. 280. Here we go. Great 57. 48 to Mike. Yep.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Elliott running right. He gets away from one. And some room to work. He gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 13. It's a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And a give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Here's Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal.
All day, every day, any day.
Here's Elliott. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Let's go.
A gain of 15. And an Eagle 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Here we go. Waiting.
Mark forward. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On first down, Irvin. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
Second and 5 at the 48-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Situation. Let's go.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
120. Line 54.
Let's go, D. Big Sears right here. We got to step it up. Hey, switch gears.
No. Safe.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. Into the red zone, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8.
At the Cowboys' 14-yard line.
So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Howard. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And it's third down.
Here we go. Waiting. Go, Captain. Let's go. We got this.
On third down, Irvin. And a tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here we go. Ball right in.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go. Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare.
On third down, Elliott. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The last run got 6, now second and 4. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Jalen Smith. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a third and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Check 24. Check 24.
Lynch 5-3. Lynch 5-3.
Check 24. Watch 24.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Slam. Check 3.
Lefty.
Slam. Hatchet.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
I got you. Check 99.
Check. Lucky. Hey, empty. Topper!
They run with Howard. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Third and less than a yard.
Here we go. Backman. Waiting!
Let's get some penetration here.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking. no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by they sell.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Go ahead in.
57. Defense wins championships, baby.
26.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Second and 6 at the 45-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Touchdown, Cowboys! A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. On the give, running right is Howard. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on 2nd and 13, Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 34.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they try the right side here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
They scared 47. Y'all playing it wrong. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
I got motion. Hey, watch that. Kill. 54. Mike, 54. Here we go.
Now Wentz. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Here we go. 54 Mike. Hey, watch the ball.
On first down, Sanders. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Whip.
From the 36, Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23.
A gain of 13 yards.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Kill.
They'll run on first down. It's Howard, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Great.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
54, right there. 54 miles. Watch the run. It's out, baby. That's big.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Let's put that team on the button.
Running with Howard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Who's that? Mike 5-4. Drop deep.
The 2nd down carry for Irvin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Throwing his Wentz. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Now Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This is Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Prescott to throw on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw, and he's going to go down again. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game. I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it. Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Here we go, back man. 180!
And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
On first down, Irvin. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Link 5-2, link 5-2. Check. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there. And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Aguilar has it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 37. It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch 54. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Check 15. Check 15. Check your hot read. Rush in. Rush in.
Running from the gun with Howard. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Switch it. Swing. Kill. Alert 3.
Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about...
Malcolm Jenkins on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They go to Elliott again, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Switch. Hey, kill. 47. Jim. Then we're going to 53. Heavy. 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
They're on 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Oh, here we go. Oh, deuce. Hey, bunch. Under 10. Here's 5-7.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Right there, 54, right there.
You must be true. Mike's 54. Here it comes.
SOS.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, 76 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
It's complete, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. And an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. The Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Hey, alert 3, alert. Tyson. Here, Jim.
Tighten up. Check 43.
To throw is Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. Now Austin. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Past the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards. So he nearly took it. The distance gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel...
And he'll get in! Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they're break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter.
Did you see them hold up four fingers at the start of the fourth quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Play action. Now Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the defense helping them out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Here's Sproles. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. The 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
74.
He's back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Eagles on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15. Back to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Elliott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe. Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it? Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Cowboys, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they action, man.